Boosie, why you always in gay people business?
I don't really,
Why you always in gay people business?
Can I answer?
Yes.
I don't really be in gay people business. I just speak on what I don't agree with. You know, I don't wake up thinking about gay people. I mean, I just might say something every once in a while that I don't like. And as a voice, I have that right. I have that right for me. I have that right for the sons that I'm raising up to be men. I have that right. If I don't like somebody doing something that a woman does, that is a woman trait, I'm gonna have something to say about it, and you might as well get used to it. What is a woman trait? Your hair, your nails, your toes. That is a woman trait that been a trait since the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s. What we looked at women as, she got some beautiful nails. So when me, as a person, listen to these people talking about slanging iron and shit, but you won't paint your nails and do all this other shit, you're double dipping. That is a woman trait. A woman already got to battle up against all these other girls on Instagram. You got to battle against all these other people. Why you got to battle against a man? And why the women ain't saying nothing about it? The women, I got a voice. I'm saying, I know I look like I'm in everybody's business. But if you say something about it, you're going to look the same way. But it's no woman. It's no woman out there with a voice saying something about a man coming in bed with nails like her. Because if it's cool, it's cool. If it's cool, you gotta let it be cool. If you ain't gonna say that. If it's cool, it's cool. Because you know why? If it's cool, then when your son asks to paint his nails, mama gotta go paint his nails. So we gonna ask him, is it cool with all the parents out there when your child asks you? Because all his favorite people who he look up to, all of them got it. So next he coming to mama. Mama, can I get my nails done? What you gonna say, Karish?
Boosie's spitting facts, though. I mean, he's spitting facts, but he still don't get a pass, though, because I still believe that, Boosie, you still apply a certain moral nature that ain't normal to society. From your music to even all the costume jewelry you got on, that's not normal. Like, you got on like 1,000 chains right now, but most people cannot or will not buy 1,000 chains. Now, if they buying fake jewelry, okay, yeah, you probably can get away with it on the cheap scale, but naturally, you know that nobody pulls that off for the most part. On like the lower scales. Now, if you're already a rich guy, yeah, you could buy fake jewelry, but most dudes not dressing like that or trying to wear a whole bunch of jewelry for people to look at or show that I'm rich and I got money. I got all these diamonds on me. So it's already like a certain type of moral compass that's already out of whack there. You know, like, but I'm all for Boosie trying to preach for the right reasons. Him trying to keep certain lifestyles out of his family, I'm all for that. I got daughters also, and I would like for them to, you know, go the route that mommy and daddy went, you know, for his looking for the opposite sex. And we're gonna get into the segment with him explaining about his daughter's situation. I think that's more the hot topic. This part right here was more just Boosie kind of just preaching about that community in general, on how he feels about it. But we're gonna get into the meaty part, which is about what he said about his daughter.
My family. I just don't condone the issue. It's not coming. I'm raising a generation.
So when your daughter came out and told you she was gay,
it was nothing. I mean, she still can't bring her situation to our house. My daughter is grown.
well, why? She's wrong.
Because I don't want it to contaminate her others. It's a generation we raising. I don't want her to get to contaminate it to her other 6, 7 sisters who look up to her. I want them to bring me grandchildren the right way.
Yeah, Boosie crazy.
If I want grandchildren the right way, that's what I'ma stand on. You know, if I don't want my other little girl to look at that and say, "What's that, Daddy?"
Contaminated.
To somebody she looks up to, it's not gonna come around. My grandpa didn't let it. My daddy didn't let it. And I didn't let it. I just hope the one under me, when they take this throne, they don't let it. Because that's not what our family believe in. Like you say, we Southern Baptists. You know, I love me and my daughter relationship like this. But when she understands everything, she know Daddy don't go, she know. But that's what she chooses to do. But she know we don't go for that. I'm like Whitney Houston mama.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And you know what's crazy? Like, people in the crowd was like, "Oh man, Boosie wild for that, man. Contaminant." Like, we all know this is indoor talk. And I would say, I don't want to just say only the black community. This is indoor talk in a lot of communities. Like, dudes normally talk like this indoors. Fathers, the whole nine. They feel like this. We just don't hear it because we got somebody that's a celebrity status that's saying it, you know, out and open online. But most fathers, grandfathers, man, we done heard them say way more wicked things. So when I'm hearing them in the crowd, like, "Oh man, he said that," but that's his prerogative. If he doesn't want, you know, that type of lifestyle around his other kids, I get it. But here's the problem though that I got with Boosie on that. And Boosie's an older man now, but I remember when I was in high school, They Dyking, that song was hitting. And they dyking, they liking. Before they go to sleep, they lock up like crabs. Two red bones kissing in the back. Man, y'all remember that song. That song is praising, you know, the lesbianism spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's praising that. It's condoning that. But like I said, I'm going to separate his younger self to now. But he has music out there that's still... I mean, when you look at the morality of it, it's kind of like Boosie. You kind of created your own environment. And we're going to see how his daughter acts, talks, and looks. I'm not saying it's only because of him, but you can kind of see where his environment influenced that. Like, Boosie, you are in a celebrity lifestyle. You're not in a normal lifestyle, which normal people are dealing with the same issues. But the lifestyle you in, it's not even the same. And from how he's been the last few years, you know, it can get wicked. You talking about sex, drugs, the whole nine. I think with his other son, when he was little, he made sure he had sex with like a stripper or a prostitute or something just to make sure he wasn't gay. Like, even that's traumatizing. You know, stuff like that could be traumatic for that kid. Let's say he experienced that and was like it went the other way. It didn't go the way you thought it was gonna go. Now you ruined that kid, you know what I'm saying? Also by doing something like that, by trying to prevent something. I think his lifestyle is not going to be conducive to make certain moral choices because the people that they're around, the things that they're seeing, the way that their life is going is going to be completely different than just like regular average kids. And I'll say this. The sad part is the regular and average kids are still going to want to dabble in the lifestyle that he portrays because that's what they look up to. So if you put out, I need to wear 1,000 chains, I need to do this, I need to do that, even if you rapped about trapping, which I'm pretty sure most of them have rapped about trapping at some point in time, you mix that into it, now they looking at, I want to be the best trapper, I want to be the best, you know, hit nigga, whatever the case is. It doesn't add for a productive environment for the younger generation. And Boosie influenced a large generation. And the sad part about it is we gravitate to what's cool or what we feel like is cool. Not what we should do, but what we feel like is more cool. So Boosie, the culture that you kind of, you know, put on the forefront, it's not going to be conducive for a successful society completely. You know, yes, you might produce some more musicians, which is cool, more entertainment, but what about all the other things? So I'm kind of on both sides, man. I'm on both sides because I don't want certain things influencing my kids. So I'm not mad at that moral code. You know, I even have a family member that we have a Cousin's Day. You know, I love her to death, and she comes over and she's gay. You know, and her girlfriend comes over. But when we're all together, the kids, my daughters don't know that she's even like that. It's not portrayed. You know, the only open affection that's portrayed in the house when we're all together is me and my wife, which is their mom. So they see that dynamic, the way how they were made. They don't see her dynamic, which is the opposite. Which I love her to death. I don't care that she is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we still want our kids to kind of, not get influenced by certain things, because if I saw something and they saw it and then they start asking me questions, I'm like, oh man, I gotta have this conversation. But in today's society, we're having to have those conversations a lot earlier because you can see too much too early. It's not like back in the day where these things were like rare anomalies, to see someone that played for the other team just openly or just dressed a certain way. You wouldn't see it like that. And I'm not saying anything wrong. Everybody live their lifestyle how they want to live it. But I do understand not letting your kids get influenced as a young age. Let them choose when they get older. Like my daughters were like older and they wanted to go ahead and choose to do that. That's your choice. You're your own soul. I can't stop you from being what you want to be. That would be wrong for me to do that, But when it comes down to, when you come around the little kids, you need to kind of like, tone it down a little bit, at least the openly affection, because it could influence. And here's the thing about it. Even the affection for my wife, I don't show anything in front of my kids. I'm not out here smacking my wife's ass. Bro, I tread so careful with that. I don't want my daughter seeing me fondle their mom. I don't, because they're going to ask me, why dad hit your butt? Why dad grab? Like, I don't even want that. So I make sure that they ain't around the corner. I'm looking around corners before I'm grabbing and smacking that. I make sure they are not in the vicinity because I know that will influence them also. So I think in children in general, you do need to play you gotta be more careful on how we show things and present ourselves in front of them. That's one of them things when we're adults, we gotta play the high road. We got the high ground now. So at that point, we need to act accordingly, so that we're not just doing any and everything around them. And I think that's what kind of ruined a lot of like the young kids, man. Is that I feel like I've been talking a lot though. We're gonna dive into the next segment, and then we're gonna finish the video up.
And you get to talking about God. Like, I don't know my God. He talking about God and how I grew up. I know my God from Nita. From my mama. My mama sent me scriptures every morning. My mama put me in the church home. I don't recall not one time I'm ever getting up with you and you taking me to the Lord's house. I don't never recall it. I didn't learn that from you. I learned to hustle from you. I learned to not let nobody play with me from you. Even if it's you. You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I never downplayed you. I never said you was a bad father, because you not. You gonna make sure your kids straight. You always gonna do that. But emotionally, mentally, you suck. And you get to talking about God.
Alright, so that was a small portion of it. I think her clip was a lot longer than this, but that was just a small portion of this. I mean, man, it's a lot. I mean, just listening to her, she's very like tomboyish. Very tomboyish. And I mean, you got a lot of girls out there who tomboyish, but they're not lesbian or, you know, play for the other team or whatnot. But I can tell, like, she got a lot of her father's vernacular. She got his swagger. She got his energy. She got a lot of masculine energy. You can just kind of see it. I mean, she looked like him. So by her explaining that about, you know, she didn't get the church stuff from him, she got it from her mom. Boosie, in a few other interviews, he preached about, you know, we Baptists, we this, you know, from church, you know, we live this type of way. And I feel like that's some of the contradictions in the black community. We'll say we something, but don't practice it. And we'll preach things about it, but we not really like in it like that. We just preaching it because it sound good. I don't like that part of, I'll speak for my community because I'm black, but I don't like that. You know, we'll say we church, we Christian, we Baptist, we Pentecostal, we Methodist, we whatever, non-denominational, and we'll quote things, but we don't really live by and stick to it. And Boosie, your music and your lifestyle shows it. Like, you can't, you know, sit right here and say you the moral compass road, but I do believe your lifestyle influenced some of her sexual choices down the line. And I'm not saying it's 100% because you can still, she could have never seen your lifestyle and still turned out like that. So it's two sides to it. I'm not picking sides. I'm not on her side. I'm not on his side all the way either. I'm not mad at him standing on the fact that, you know, if you don't want her lifestyle around the young kids, I'm not mad at that either. One of my best quotes, man, that I like is you either stand for something or fall for anything. That is real. That is real. And you, in today's society, you need that. Like, it don't matter. Like, you gotta be able to stand on something. So I'm not mad at his moral disciplining, but at the same time, like, this young lady, I can tell her lifestyle was definitely influenced by Boosie's lifestyle also. I don't believe he didn't play a part in this. And that's another thing too with fathers, man. That's why it's really hard sometimes for fathers to, like, really raise daughters the way how they supposed to be, you know, because that's why we need really, you know, good mothers, because a father damn near gonna raise a girl like they might raise a boy. Tough, don't take no shit, you know, they gonna raise them the same exact way. And that could be damaging too, because you want to raise a girl that's sweet and soft, and, you know, but then you might raise a tomboy or a masculine woman, and it might progress into something a lot worse later on. So it's really a delicate balance. And like I said, I don't know all Boosie lifestyle. I don't know how he raises kids, but me looking outside in, that's what I kind of see looking at her, kind of hearing him, the whole nine. That's what I see throughout the process. Let me get y'all comments on this situation with Boosie and his daughter, on what he said about her being, you know, her lifestyle and coming around the family, and then her thoughts on him also. So yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all leave a like, y'all subscribe to the channel. This is JB Reacts, and until next time, peace.